Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. If you've already subscribed to our channel, thank you very much. If you haven't, please do. And when you do, be sure and tap on the little notification bell and you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. I'm in a good mood today. Today is like real fun. I've been having fun, which is long overdue, okay? I've been busy lately and haven't had a lot of fun. Now I'm having fun now, okay? This is my Shovelhead, and I have shown this Shovelhead for years on the video channel. It's my main road bike. It's a bike I've had for, well, I bought it new in '78. It's a '77. I've had it 46 years. And in my business, I used to use it as my test bench for just about every new product that ever came out. And I've always done that with it, and I've had a lot of fun with it. We've traveled all over the place. I've got literally hundreds of thousands of miles on this bike. But one of the things that I've always enjoyed about it, some people like them, some people don't. I really don't care. I really love SU carburetors. And I have run an SU on this bike. Oh, let's see, if I've had it 46 years, I've probably run an SU on it for 36 of those years. And again, with all the developments and stuff as they've come up, I've been able to try different things, and I know what happens when I do. And let's see, when I got it, it had an original Gazillion carburetor. It was one of those little squirter things that that they made back then. It's before the CV Gazillions came out. It's what the old Gazillions were. And I remember it finally got to me one night. I pulled it off and walked out back and threw it in the dumpster, and that was the end of that. So then I had to buy another carburetor. So in those days, a good carburetor to use, and I'm not trying to badmouth any, it's just step by step how I've gone through this thing. I put a Bendix, adjustable main jet Bendix on it. And I doctored it. I threw the choke plate away and put one of those fast flow rings in it, and anything I could think of to make it. And I rode with that for several years. And then for my birthday, rather lovely lady bought me a new SU. She got together with my boss, and he knew what I wanted, and she got me an SU carburetor. Well, that changed my life. And in those days, that big carburetor, all it needed was a big cam to go with it, and another lady bought me that for my birthday. My boss really knew how to tell him what Mike wanted. It was a very cool thing, and I had a lot of fun with that. Anyway, so I've run an SU all these years, and then working on newer bikes than my own, I did other kinds of carburetors too. There was DeLordos, and then there was the big dual throat DeLordos, and then we finally got to Mikuni's, and just there was so much stuff. Some guys preferred an S&S. Everybody has their own preference. So when a buddy of mine called me the other day, and this is a guy I've done business with for years and years, Ben, over at American Prime Manufacturing, he calls me up and says, "Mike, I just put a new carburetor kit together, and it's for a Shovelhead, and I wish you'd try it and tell me what you think." You didn't have to wish very hard, that sounds like fun to me. And so I went to see him on Tuesday, and he hands me this box. And he says, "There it is." And I said, "Cool, I'll try it." And after we get to it, I'll show you what it is. It's a Mikuni. And anyway, we'll get to it. What I want to do right now is remove my SU, which I'm very in love with. And we've been together a long time. Yep. In fact, this is not the original one. I've gone through a couple, okay? Wow. Like I said, hundreds of thousands of miles. Wow. Like about maybe 400 on the bike, maybe more. Anyway, I quit saving speedometers because I kept blowing them up. So anyway, so there it is, and we have this SU on it. Now let me give you a little bit of background here. This is an 80 cubic inch shovel head. This is nothing really wild. It's a good running, I mean, it's no slouch. It's a good running 80-inch shovel. I'm not going to tell everybody everything that's in it. That's really not to be published. That's nobody's big deal. But it has STD heads on it. Yeah. And Dave Mackey did tune them up a little for me, which was very nice of him. Dave's one of my good buddies. And he did, when it comes to shovel heads, I think he set all the records. Except for the land speed record at Bonneville with that twin engine shovel head on it that set the record that lasted 11 years. Dave didn't build those motors. He did the heads. Keith Ruxton built the motors and Dave did the heads. Anyway, these are STD heads. And like I said, it's an 80-inch motor. And that's about as much as we need to get into. It's got a Dynatec ignition. I've run dual spark plugs. And that's about enough for now, okay? So what we're going to do is take this carburetor off. Shouldn't take long. Let's see, here we go. And that takes the cable loose. Was that cool or what?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. That was...
I just wish I had a better camera angle, that's all.
Yeah, right. Right. So we're going to take this carburetor off. Now, I took the gas tanks off because I didn't think I needed to waste anybody's time showing them how I'm removing the tanks. And then when I do things like that, I think about, well, was there anything I should have said that would have been of any help to anybody? And yeah, there is. If your tanks are fitting well. Now, in fitting gas tanks, you always want them to be flat against the frame. Don't ever stress them into place. So what that means is you end up shimming them with washers to get them to the point where they sit perfectly flat, in this case on all 3 points, okay? So if you do that, then you're not going to crack them prematurely, because if you stress one of those tanks, you will crack it. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and it isn't very long. So you want to be sure and fit your tanks well. So if you take your tanks off and you had already fitted them well, why go through the exercise twice? Put a piece of tape on the end of this bolt, so this washer and this washer are in place. Same thing on the other side. And this bolt here in the middle I've got over there in a special place, and I know exactly how it goes back in. Same thing with the one down here. If you do that, then you're safe. You don't have to redo it and like that. And I have no idea why that nut didn't want to come right off of there.
Neither do I.
All righty. Well, we don't care. We'll do it anyway. We don't care about anything
Getting ready
else.
to move to the next camera position, and
Why, for that?
and yeah, you're. I was like, hey, what happened?
Well, once I get this bolt loose, there's a nut. Sometimes you feel like one. Okay. And
You're going up with it or out with it?
what's that?
Get a wrench on it.
What are you trying to do to me?
Isn't that? Anyway.
What, on that one in there?
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to hang in there.
Okay.
It could hang in there because I forgot to get a magnet out when I put all my tools out. Because if I had remembered to put a magnet in out here, then I would be able to pick it up real quick.
Want me to get you one?
Yeah, would you please? Screwdriver drawer. black box, screwdriver drawer, open lid. There we go.
There you go.
Thank you. Ooh, big one. Kind of hard to get in there, huh?
Didn't want you to miss.
Yeah, really. That's out. I got it. Okay, and this one will come off here in a second. So we'll do that. And I want to show everything here that I can. Now this little bracket here and all this is stuff from Rivera Engineering that they had made or they made for the use of SU carburetors. And we put them on everything. I put SUs on a lot of Shovelheads, and I put SUs on a lot of Evos. And they've always been my go-to carburetor. And now, to try something different, I think it's going to be fun.
Sorry,
Huh?
I was tripping over something.
So we'll get this carburetor off of here in a minute or two. Okay. Let's see, when you bought one of these carburetors, it came with a brace, and it came with the bracket for the throttle hookup, and all that stuff. So I thought these were pretty wonderful carburetors. And they really do make excellent gas mileage. And they are a constant velocity carburetor. So they're pretty wonderful. And Mikuni's, I've had fabulous luck with them on everything I put them on, but we didn't have everything we needed to put them on a Shovelhead. And Ben says, why not? I think Ben's still got a couple Shovelheads. Us old guys.
I want one.
Oh, you'll get one. Okay. Okay, now we got 3 of those 4 bolts out of there.
This is the interesting part.
What's that?
The fourth one.
The 4th one?
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be hard to do?
I don't know.
Nah.
I'm sure other people are asking the same question.
Nah. It's just a carburetor. Yeah. So we're doing it. And I want to keep talking so that camera keeps working, because I'm concentrating on the last nut here. There we go. Now, I just rode this thing yesterday, so this carburetor is probably
Full of gas.
Probably full of gas, yes. Did I drop another washer down there? I don't think so. I think, yeah, there it is. Okay. So if you'll excuse me, see where I can set that. There. Okay. Not bad. So we can take this off of here. Okay. And then we'll Let's see, did I leave? Yeah, I did. I did. Get this nut off of here. Then we can get this brace off of here. I think, yeah, that nut's coming off. It's kind of interesting when I do stuff like this and I need an extra hand, and Mike's usually holding the camera. Well, he's my extra hand when we're not filming.
I'm an extra hand when we film too, I told you.
Yeah, I'm just not quite sure how you do that. Just don't drop the camera, man.
You only get one hand.
Yeah. Yeah, well. Yeah, well. Okay, I think what we'll do is just worry about this when we get it from the other side. Okay, this is one of the pieces like Harley uses. And I run my gas line through it. And then I hook the brace up to here, which is the way we had it. Okay, so now we'll go over to the other side and see what we can do.
I can hold a nut now if you want it.
No. No, what I wanted to do here was I wanted to show that I probably could do the whole job and leave the motor mount on. The only thing is I'd like everybody to be able to see it well. So we're going to take that motor mount off, and as long as we're taking it off, let's talk about motor mounts for a minute. Let's see. Now motor mounts, and I have seen more broken motor mounts on Shovelheads than anything else. And what happens is people put them on and they don't get them perfectly flat. Again, no stress on them whatsoever, or they will break. I remember hanging out at Harry's that was Harry's bar in Pismo. And we were all hanging out, swapping lives one night, and my Shovelhead was sitting there, and these guys start complaining about their broken top motor mounts, and I said, I have never broken one on my Shovelhead in all the years I've owned it. I still have the original top motor mount on it. Well, when I took off that night, I did a big burnout in front of the bar. And as luck would have it, top motor mount broke in 3 pieces.
3?
3. Yeah. I thought it was pretty funny.
Job worth doing right.
Anything worth doing's worth overdoing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, just the way it is. Well, I was probably the gorilla that tightened that down in the first place, so that's okay. Huh?
Who in the heck tightened that up like that?
You know damn good and well I did, and why. Now what I did do, this is a big heavy duty mount, and I've run this for quite a while. You notice the difference in color. I broke this part of it and made a new one out of stainless one night. In the middle of the night, because I had to go somewhere. Okay, so now we've got all 3 of them loose. So it won't take much to get this off of here, and we'll be right down and to the intake manifold. Now stay tuned, because when I get this thing apart, my goal is to, I want to show that new carburetor. It's way, way cool, I think. And what do you think of that?
I didn't get a chance to see it well.
I think we'll just leave it all hooked up. There we go. As soon as we get this all hooked up, we'll see if we can get the all off of here. We'll see if we can get the intake manifold out of there. Okay. Now again, this thing is shimmed to fit, and I don't remember what all I put in here. But I'll bet there's probably a flat washer of some kind in there. Yep, there it is. Oh, it's a thin one. Look at that. Yeah, that's the thin one that went in right there so that that whole thing sat flush. No stress on it. And no matter how many times I say it, I will continue to say it over and over again. And if somebody gets tired of hearing it, I'm sorry, but please mount your motor with no stress on it.
And your gas tanks.
And your gas tanks. Well, actually everything.
Yeah.
The only thing is, these things are putting out bunches of power, and the damage they'll do is pretty big. Now let me look at the other side before I take that manifold loose. Yeah, I think I'll just take this piece off, and that way I'll have a manifold that won't have anything attached to it.
That was the Harley piece.
What's that?
Was that
Oh yeah, they're you know, I used to order them on a card from Custom Chrome. I'm sure everybody probably stocks them. But I used to put one of those big cards on the wall with them on it. Those and the clips for keeping the plug in the alternator. I mean, just little doodads like that we had for anyone who needed them. Speaking in terms of when I had a shop, I think I like working at home better. I think this is better. I mean, when I'm done, I can go in and have dinner, you know? Okay. Now, this manifold is probably about ready to come off.
All right.
Like my little palm ratchet. It's one of my favorite tools. Now, they make these manifolds, or not manifolds, but this manifold, this SU manifold, is intended for the early style O-ring type heads. But you can use them on either one. What Rivera used to do is the same thing Ben is still doing, is they supply little rings to fill the groove with, and then you can use the later boot type intake seals. Okay, so there is the intake manifold. I've always been fond of these. I think they're possibly the prettiest manifold ever made.
Sexy, maybe?
Maybe. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
It just might be. No navel. Oh, let's see. So there we are. There we are.
What is that port for anyway?
That is for a VOES on,
Oh, yeah.
let's see, is that for a VOES on this one?
Evo. Oh, yeah, it is.
No, it's for a vacuum line.
Yeah,
For a vacuum line, for whatever reason you need a vacuum line. You know, maybe you have a VOES, vacuum operated electronic switch.
those are the rubber seals.
These are the O-rings.
O-rings.
I had a feeling one of them was leaking a little bit. Maybe. But that's the O-ring type. And I'm going to, is that red rag loose? Thank you. I want to wipe that off a little bit. And then we'll look at the manifold that we're going to put on it. I'm going over to the other side. Is that okay with you? Good. Okay. Okay, now we have shown this on videos before. I'm going to pick up the intake manifold, the new one. And here it is. And with a little luck, it's going to fit well.
Let me see it.
Okay? I'm going to show it again with the carburetor. But right now what I want to see is how well this lines up. And it's not bad. Okay, with the two O-rings, you know, one on either side, that should be fine. And I ordered new O-rings that I should have hopefully tomorrow. Okay, let me see the, could you hand me the O-rings? Thank you. Just for fun, we'll just stick them on there and see how close they are. Because if they aren't close, I'm going to have to pull the heads loose.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. That'll get, there it is. There it is. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got, all right. So there is the new manifold. I'd say that's fitting pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Now the way you want to do that is you take a flashlight, which I didn't bring one out here tonight, but you take a flashlight and you can look in and see. You can actually see where that comes together. But this manifold has a nice texture in it, which should make everything go misty on you.
Mm-hmm.
What's the word I'm looking for? They'll give it, everybody will write it. Yes, make everything atomized nicely. Okay? And that's a beautiful little manifold. And then here is the spigot to connect it to the
Mikuni.
yeah, the new Mikuni carburetor. Now, for everybody's information, let me get this carburetor over here. I guess we'll do it right next to the lift. Now, wait a minute. Maybe well, yeah, let's look at the carburetor first. Yeah. The carburetor is a Mikuni HSR 42. That's a 42 millimeter Mikuni, which is the same thing I've been putting on Evos and everything else. But what happens is, the bigger the motor, the bigger the carburetor. So they have bigger ones. But for the Shovelhead, this kit is a 42 millimeter Mikuni. And look at the new bell crank they put on this thing.
Wow.
Yeah. Then no matter how what your cable length is, you just go into the right hole so that the length comes out right. I mean, I think it's beautiful. I mean, what a beautiful machined little bell crank.
Yeah.
Okay, and new bracket for the cables.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's absolutely gorgeous. And the vacuum port, which you probably won't be using on your Shovelhead, with a plug on it. Same thing here.
Okay.
You're ready to go. And here's the fuel line. And this thing comes with instructions like you can't believe. Now, we always joke about bikers and say there's only one thing wrong with bikers. They can't read. Which is absolutely ridiculous.
Is that why there are a lot of pictures in Easy Rider?
Yeah. Well, you know, personally, I have loved the instructions, and this set here is really, really good. I mean, everything mounting, everything about tuning it, absolutely wonderful. Naturally, they tell you got to use dual cables because I think the government or someone wants you to use dual cables.
Let's see the front of it.
So that's what they do. Yeah, these are the instructions, and I'm kind of getting out of order here, but I've got, with this thing comes, okay, here's the bracket to hold the choke cable. I say choke, enrichener cable. Yeah, let's see what else I got here.
Go ahead and roll that over there.
You know I could, huh? Okay. Okay. Now here is your enrichener cable, which goes over to the other side, and there's a bracket furnished to hold it. I mean, they thought of everything and put everything in the kit. Here is your idle speed, right here, just like they've always been. I mean, it's just a beautiful, typically beautiful Mikuni setup. And let's see what else we got here. We got a pair of brackets. The brackets come up from this center stud, just like we did here on the old type one. And there's two brackets that come up. And what they do, this thing's beautiful. Look at that.
Wow. Wow, wow.
Okay, and these here, the brackets come up from here. There's two of them. I've got them right here. And they come up to here and here. This is just rubber to protect the stud there. And they go up there, and that will support your carburetor more than well with two big brackets. And washable element.
I saw that.
Oh, that's a beauty. I mean, that's the real deal. And I couldn't be more pleased with it. So, you know, poor me, I have to experiment with it. I'm going to have fun giving you an update on this thing because I really don't know what it's going to do. But having run so many of these carburetors, like I say, on Evos, I've been so pleased with them. I've always been pleased with the Mikuni. I've always been pleased with my SU. So we're going to find out. I'm not going to put it on a dyno. This is all seat of the pants stuff. And I will do it, and I will tune it, and I will tell you about tuning it, installing it. We'll go through this whole thing together. Okay? So I hope I didn't leave anything major out. Anything that I left out about telling about the carburetor or how it mounts or anything, I'm going to show you in the next video. We're going to put it on and get it ready to go. I ordered a new pair of O-rings because the local shop didn't have them. And I ordered a new pair of clamps because last time I put these on, I thought they were kind of funky. So I ordered a brand new pair of them. I like the ones I order are S&S's. They're stainless steel. They ain't cheap, but boy, are they nice pieces. You got one of those?
I have a pair of them.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I will do that and show them. One of these didn't feel good, so.
I remember that.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, well. Anyway, so we'll be doing that. And like I said, we're going to put this new carburetor on. Anyway, until then, I'll see you out on the road.